Hello everyone, welcome back to my page and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm going to be doing this video because it's fresh and people are talking about this, and this is going to be an expansion on another video I had made earlier this year when I talked about the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series and their problems with colorism. And the new Green Lantern movie also has a problem with colorism. I'm going to break it down right now. And if you're going to dislike what I'm about to say, stay while you disagree and keep it moving, but your comments will always be welcomed on my channel. But I'm going to talk about this because Hollywood has a problem with colorism, and I'm going to break it all down right here. Aaron Pierre has been casted to play John Stewart, the Black Green Lantern, in the new Green Lantern movie. There's been a few Green Lanterns, though, who's taken up the mantle. They're going to have both the white version of the character and, John Stewart, the other Green Lantern. And, I'm not like, a big expert on the Green Lantern and things like that. And I'm mostly a Marvel guy, but I do like John Stewart, the Black Green Lantern. And, it was that representation. You've seen a black superhero on screen in the animated cartoon and things like that. But Aaron Pierre has been casted to play the Green Lantern, and this is bad casting in my opinion. And I'm gonna break it down that Hollywood, when it comes to casting, a black superhero or melanated people in cartoons or in comic books and any form of media, when they cast them in live action, they got to cast somebody who doesn't really match the features and who don't phenotypically present as the character they're representing. And no, this is no disrespect to Aaron Pierre, because I loved him in that movie that excuse that. I loved him in that movie when I think it was called The Bridge. Maybe it was called The Bridge. I keep on forgetting, but I loved him in that movie, that Netflix movie, which is fantastic. He acted his behind off in that, but he's not right for the role. And I'm about to break it down though, because look, this is how the John Stewart looks in the comic books and cartoons and all forms of media. He's very dark skinned. He's very melanated. He's very, very melanated. Very, 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 very melanated, and look like, and yeah, very, very black features and things like that. And Aaron Peter, Aaron Pierre. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his name right though. Excuse me, I'm not pronouncing your name right though. But he's actually from the UK, and he looks, he doesn't have dark skin features, and he doesn't look. He looks of caramel and brown, and this was a role that should have went to somebody very, very dark skinned, very, very melanated. Though it seems like Hollywood just has a problem when it comes to casting actors and actresses of a darker who no Hollywood has a problem when it comes to casting characters who are dark skinned in comic books and who are dark skinned in cartoons, and when they put them in live action, they give the role to somebody who's either racially ambiguous, light skinned, or it doesn't have the afro, not afro, the black features that we're looking for, the black melanated features, dark skin, dark hair, brown eyes. They casted somebody with gray eyes and very, very a caramel complexion, sometimes very light skin complexion, is not given. And y'all can say it's in my head, and representation's present. They hired somebody who was black to play the role though, but he's not even I want to say black American though, because my thing is this though. My thing is this though. He's from the UK, so he's not black American. He's African UK descent though. Hopefully I pronounce it. Oh, excuse me, black people in the UK. That's not a real term though. But I'm not trying to be have all these phobias or isms though. So bear with me though. So excuse me if that's not a proper term though. Educate me in the comments. The term you guys like to say, but he's not an American black person. He's from the UK, and then they gave the. And then now he's playing somebody with very black features and dark skin. Where is the dark skin though? Because it really makes me upset though, because growing up, we didn't really have that much dark skin representation in media though. But when the cartoons decided to have black characters, they were always, dark skin, and the representation was there, and I seen myself in this character and things like that. And for them to cast a person from the UK with gray eyes and caramel complexion and not that much, you know, black features for a character that was very dark skinned, very a melanated, very melanated. It's very disheartening. Why do Hollywood have a problem with a dark skin representation? I love the Black Green Lantern in the comics and in the cartoon. Look at this. This is what I was looking for. This was what I was looking for. This is what a lot of people were looking for. There's no dark skin representation. And like I didn't really respond because I had dropped a video earlier this year calling out the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action Netflix series for casting, pale skin and racially ambiguous actress to play Katara, even though Katara and her brother Sokka and people of the Water Tribe were very dark skinned and melanated, but when they do cast indigenous people to be in these roles, it's always the light skin or European looking indigenous, and everybody was just saying representation is there. She was of indigenous descent or whatever you want to call it. But the one thing I forgot to say in that video is that dark skinned indigenous people exist, and I can bring up photos to prove that. But they didn't find those type of actors. They wanted to go with pale, European looking actors. And whenever they do cast a person of color to play a black superhero from the comics or in the cartoon series, though, they always get somebody who was racially ambiguous. They did the same thing with Storm from the X-Men series though. Cause hold on, let me show y'all something real quick. Hold on. Let me show y'all something real quick. Like, look, so this is because Holly Berry. This is no diss to Holly Berry though, but Holly Berry played Storm in the X-Men movies though, and this was a miscast though because they cast a biracial light skinned black woman to play Storm though. Storm in the comic books was a dark skinned girl from Kenya. She was a dark skinned Kenyan woman. So why did they cast a light skinned biracial black woman? A light-skinned biracial black woman to play Storm that had very African features, a strong face, dark skin, she was from Kenya and things like that. And it was very disheartening to the character because hold on, let me show y'all those X-Men Storm comic. Nah. Let me show y'all though. Yes, Storm in the comic books had dark skin. Hold on, these aren't good photos. These are not good photos. Hold on, y'all bear with me. Oh yeah, here we go. Storm had dark skin, melanated. Where is the melanin? Where is the melanin? Look, this is what I was looking for. I don't see how, and they saw that, but then they cast Holly Berry to play Storm, which originally they wanted Angela Bassett. That would have been fantastic. But it's too late now though. But yeah, but me personally, I know why they actually chose Holly Berry to play Storm. There wasn't too many well-known black actresses at that time to play Storm, to bring in that black female and black male demographic who was well known. I couldn't think of any other actress at that time in the early 2000s besides Holly Berry and Angela Bassett. So Holly Berry was the second best choice. So it's not doesn't really shock me as much. But nevertheless, it still wasn't the representation we were looking for. And it's the same thing here. Hollywood has a colorism problem. This, look at him right here, gray eyes, caramel skin or lighter skin. Looks wise, he doesn't match the skin tone I'm looking for, but they chose him because he had that fantastic Netflix movie, and he does, and like he's like handsome. He's gonna bring in that crowd, the middle-aged women and the young girls crowd. My sister think he's very very attractive. When we watched that movie, she was like, "Oh wow, he's very good looking." So I understand from so that makes sense why they still chose him though. But then it's also colorism and also Hollywood being what they're biased though, because they don't think that dark skinned men are attractive though. They don't think that dark skinned men can bring in that box office appeal, and they don't think that dark skinned men could carry a franchise and things like that. And then that's disheartening. So when these black superheroes in the comic books who are dark skinned, whenever they come to live action, they have to be racially ambiguous or with a lighter skin. He's a black man from the UK with gray colored eyes. And Halle Berry was a black biracial woman with lighter skin to play a superhero who was a Kenyan woman who was very dark skinned and melanated though. So Hollywood has a problem with colorism. It's colorism, colorism, colorism. And for y'all, and then like in my last comment, everybody was just saying to me, dragging me about like representation was present with the last Airbender series. They hired a person who was indigenous, and y'all need to realize though, throughout the years in Hollywood, there's been a colorism problem. Black people, darker skinned people were not, given enough representation. And even though Katara and her brother Sokka from the last Airbender were not black, they were indigenous though. There was still that there was still that dark skin representation that we weren't seeing in media. And I can show you evidence that there are darker skinned indigenous people, but Netflix didn't go after those roles. And guess what? And guess what? Though there are tons of darker skinned actors in Hollywood with very melanated features that they could have casted, but they chose to go with this racially ambiguous black man from the UK. In the original X-Men movie, they chose Halle Berry. They could have went with Angela Bassett, or they could have went with what's her name? Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson, or they could have went with Gabrielle Union. But no, they chose a black biracial woman with lighter skin. This is what I'm looking for. I think somebody of African descent, a dark skinned brother with African descent, could have played the Green Lantern, the Black Green Lantern. This is what we're looking for. But I rest my case. Especially right here, he looks. This is a lighter complexion, black man. And me personally, sometimes I'm not really quick to, count black people from the UK as being black, as part of our plight though, because a lot of black people from the UK are not quick to put themselves into American black people issues. So that's my biggest pet peeve. So yeah, this is not given. This is not given. Maybe he'll do a good job, but I'm signing off. Stay while you disagree and keep it moving, but I'm out of here.